Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we unearth the knowledge you need to navigate our complex world. Before we get started, just imagine that vast ocean of information out there just waiting to be explored. If you're joining us on YouTube, be that curious current and hit the like button, share this exploration with fellow seekers of knowledge, and definitely subscribe to the All Sorts podcast so you never miss a discovery. Our archives, they're brimming with past deep dives, each one a journey into some really fascinating topics. And hey, don't forget to connect with the All Sorts podcast beyond the screen. Find us charting new territories on X, sharing visual voyages on Instagram, and weaving threads of insight on Threads. Okay, let's dive deep.
Today, we're tackling a really vital area in our increasingly digital life: cybersecurity training as certifications.
Exactly. I mean, the digital realm underpins so much of our modern existence, right? And safeguarding it is just more critical than ever. For you, the learner listening in, the sheer volume of info around cybersecurity training, certifications, it can feel overwhelming, like navigating a dense fog. Our goal in this deep dive is really to act as your lighthouse, cutting through that obscurity to provide some clear guidance.
Yeah, and to illuminate this landscape, we've gathered quite a range of perspectives. We'll be looking at the objectives of a key certification exam, that's the CompTIA Security Plus S. We're also exploring career paths with the CyberSeek tool, highlighting some valuable free training resources from places like the SANS Institute and CISA, plus tapping into real-world discussions from the Reddit community and referencing a pretty comprehensive guide to cybersecurity certifications.
Okay, great. Let's get right to it then. Our mission here really is to give you a strategic advantage. We want you to grasp the different types of cybersecurity training out there, understand the genuine value certifications can offer, and, feel empowered to build your cybersecurity skills without getting lost in a maze of jargon and, endless choices. So let's start by understanding the fundamental need. Why is this training so essential today?
Well, what's particularly striking is just how important cybersecurity has become in our interconnected society. This Evident article draws a really powerful parallel, likening cybersecurity preparedness to fire drills. We all understand the need for regular fire drills, right? To prepare for unexpected emergencies. That same logic absolutely holds true for cyber attacks. With the constant emergence of, increasingly sophisticated threats, proactive training becomes not just advisable, but really vital.
That makes perfect sense, yeah. And it's not just about preventing the worst-case scenarios, is it? There's also a huge demand for skilled people in this area.
That's a crucial point, yeah, and it's underscored by both the SANS Institute and the Cybersecurity Guide. We're facing a notable shortage of qualified cybersecurity professionals. This high demand directly reflects the value of investing in the right training and credentials. And to understand the breadth of the field, if you look at the CompTIA Security Plus exam objectives, they cover several key domains. Things like fundamental security concepts, different types of threats, security architecture, operations procedures, and also managing security programs. This wide scope really illustrates the diverse skill sets the field needs. Interestingly, our sources highlight a particular surge, in demand for pros specializing in cloud security and threat intelligence. It's not just about needing more people, it's about tackling the increasingly sophisticated attacks on cloud stuff and needing proactive threat hunting.
Okay, so the job opportunities, that's clear. But for you, the learner, the next big question is probably, where do you even begin?
Yes.
With so much info out there, it can feel like trying to crack a code, just figuring out where to start building these skills.
Fortunately, there are numerous pathways, and some truly outstanding free resources are available. The ARIS Institute, for instance, provides a wealth of no-cost materials. This includes things like interactive workshops, valuable open-source tools, informative webcasts breaking down current threats, in-depth white papers on specific challenges, newsletters, and their widely respected Internet Storm Center, which gives real-time analysis of Internet security threats.
Wow, that sounds like an incredibly valuable set of resources.
Yeah.
Are there any specific free courses or segments from SANS you'd recommend checking out first?
Yes, absolutely. They actually offer free segments from their foundational course, SEC 275. These cover topics like an intro to core computer hardware components, specifically CPUs, and the essential workings of SMTP, the simple mail transfer protocol for email. Understanding CPU hardware is crucial because many sophisticated attacks target vulnerabilities right there. And grasping SMTP is vital since email is still a primary way attackers try phishing and sending malware. These free segments give you a real taste of the kind of foundational knowledge SANS provides. Plus, they offer free hour-long demos for over 65 of their full courses. Great way to preview. Also, CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, they offer significant free training too.
Oh, right. CISA. I know them. What kind of free training do they have?
So CISA offers an incident response training program. It includes both awareness webinars. Think of those as their 100-level intro courses and more hands-on cyber range training, which are their more advanced 200-level offerings. The webinars cover a really broad spectrum, things like defending internet-accessible systems, preventing web and email server attacks, understanding indicators of compromise, defending against ransomware. They even cover foundational stuff like network diagramming essentials, log management principles, and using the CISA incident response playbook.
That's an impressively comprehensive list for webinars.
Yeah.
And the cyber range training, that's where it gets more technical, more hands-on, I assume?
Exactly. The cyber range training provides these immersive virtual labs, realistic technical environments. These are 4-hour sessions where participants actively practice crucial skills investigation, remediation, incident response. The topics often mirror the webinars, but with a really strong emphasis on practical, hands-on labs, so you can directly apply what you're learning. It's a fantastic way to gain that practical experience in a, safe environment.
It's really remarkable that both SANS and CISA offer so much high-quality training for free. What about other easily accessible resources that, the learner might find useful?
Well, as the SANS article points out, platforms like YouTube host just an enormous amount of cybersecurity content, often from experts in the field. Coursera is another excellent option. You can often audit courses for free, meaning you get access to the learning materials even if you don't go for the formal certificate. And many top universities, like MIT, offer open source courseware, university-level instruction at no cost. Oh, and the Let's Defend website is another valuable resource, specifically focused on building practical skills through interactive exercises and simulations.
Okay, so there's clearly a huge landscape of free learning opportunities. But at some point, many people think about getting formal certifications. How do certs fit into this bigger picture of training and career development?
That raises a fundamental question, right? How do you actually show your knowledge and skills to employers, to the industry? Professional certifications, as the Cybersecurity Guide explains, are specifically designed to validate your proficiency with particular technologies, and they're often highly regarded, really sought after in the job market. A prime example of this is the CompTIA Security Plus certification.
Right, Security Plus, though. That one comes up a lot. What makes it so significant?
Well, it's widely recognized as a strong foundational certification. It gives broad coverage across essential domains, threats, architecture, risk management, cryptography. Importantly, the Cybersecurity Guide points out that Security Plus is often a mandatory requirement for certain roles within the U.S. Department of Defense. That really underscores its industry value. Now, there aren't strict prerequisites, but CompTIA recommends having maybe 2 years of IT admin experience with a security focus, some hands-on experience, and just a solid general understanding of security concepts before you try it.
And what does the actual Security Plus exam involve?
The current version, SY0701, has a maximum of 90 questions. It uses a mix of multiple choice and these performance-based questions that simulate real-world scenarios. You get 90 minutes to complete it. And like we mentioned, it covers 5 main domains with a specific percentage of questions for each.
Okay, that gives a good overview of a key professional cert. How do these types differ from, say, certifications offered by universities?
That's a good distinction the Cybersecurity Guide makes. Professional certs, like Security Plus E, focus primarily on validating specific technical proficiencies, usually for people working in or aiming to enter the field. Academic certifications, maybe from places like Harvard or University of Maryland, tend to provide a more in-depth theoretical foundation. They're often pursued by people wanting a comprehensive understanding or maybe transitioning into cyber from another field. These academic programs can range from shorter courses to, more extensive certificate programs.
Got it. Are there other popular professional certifications the learners should maybe know about as they explore options?
Absolutely. The Cybersecurity Guide mentions several others. The CISSP Certified Information Systems Security Professional is highly respected, very sought after, but generally aimed at more experienced professionals, often in leadership roles. It does have a prerequisite of several years of relevant work experience. Then there's the CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker, that focuses on ethical hacking techniques valuable for both offensive and defensive security roles. For CEH, you typically need to either complete an official training course from EC Council or show you have practical experience in info security. Oh, and the CyberSeek Career Pathway tool that's incredibly useful for exploring which skills and certs are commonly linked to specific cybersecurity jobs. Lets you tailor your path.
So with such a wide array of certs available, how does someone even start deciding which ones to go for and in what order? It feels like it could be a pretty daunting decision.
It's a very common concern, yeah. And the Reddit discussion we looked at offers some valuable insights here. One of the key takeaways from that thread is that your overall comprehension of the underlying concepts and having a good study plan are ultimately more important than strictly following a specific cert order.
That's actually reassuring. It doesn't have to be this rigid, linear thing.
Exactly. The Reddit discussion shows a range of perspectives. Some people, maybe with a relevant bachelor's degree already, suggest potentially skipping some entry-level certs and going for more advanced ones like CySA Plus or Pentest Plus area. But others find that foundational trifecta, usually A plus or Network plus SARI and Security Plus, really valuable for building a solid base and just getting a foot in the door in IT, which can then lead into cyber roles. But a really recurring theme on Reddit is that gaining practical, hands-on experience alongside certifications is absolutely essential for long-term success. And there's also the point that the best certs depend on your specific career goals. What's ideal for a future pen tester is probably different than for an aspiring CSO.
That makes perfect sense. Theory is crucial, but it's applying it practically that really cements understanding and shows capability. Speaking of practical experience, the Evident article mentioned some interesting kind of forward-thinking trends in training for 2025.
Yes, and one of the big shifts they highlight is this increasing emphasis on learning by doing more active training methods. They point out that traditional passive lectures, they're becoming less effective in such a dynamic field. The future, according to Evident, leans towards more engaging approaches like interactive crisis simulations mimicking real cyber attacks. Also using gamification like cybersecurity escape rooms to make learning more engaging, and even immersive theater scenarios where you interact with actors playing stakeholders in a simulated crisis.
Wow, that sounds way more engaging and probably more effective than just listening to talks. And it lines up directly with a hands-on approach from SANS workshops and the CISA Cyber Range training.
Precisely. These active methods let people practice skills under simulated pressure, test their knowledge in realistic settings without real-world consequences, and ultimately retain the material better. The Evident article also underscores the critical need for continuous learning. It's ongoing in cybersecurity because the threats and regulations are constantly evolving. They specifically mention emerging tech areas like PQC, post-quantum cryptography that's about making systems secure against future quantum computers, and PT, privacy-enhancing techniques to protect data privacy while it's being used. These are key areas where pros need to constantly upskill. They also highlight staying compliant with the evolving regulations like DORA, CRA, NIS2, the AI Act. These often require ongoing training and adapting security practices.
So it's definitely not a field where you just finish your training and you're done. The learning has to be continuous, adaptive.
Absolutely. And underpinning all this advanced learning, as the CompTIA Security Plus objectives clearly show, is a strong grasp of fundamental security concepts. Domain 1.0 of Security Plus specifically focuses on these foundations: the CIA triad confidentiality, integrity, availability, the AAA principles, authentication, authorization, accounting, also zero trust security concepts, different types of security controls, physical security importance, and the basic principles of cryptography. These foundational concepts are just the essential building blocks for everything else.
Okay, wow, we've covered a significant amount of ground in this deep dive. What are the most important takeaways for you, the learner, as you navigate this complex world?
I think the most crucial takeaway is understanding there isn't just one single right path. It's not one size fits all. The landscape offers a really diverse array of options, your first step. Clearly define your own specific career goals and interests within cyber. Then explore the huge range of resources available. Definitely take advantage of the excellent free training from SANS, CISA, and other online platforms. When you look at certifications, research carefully which ones align best with your goals, your current experience, your desired career path. And always remember, practical hands-on experience is incredibly valuable. It should complement any formal training or certs. And finally, embrace that cybersecurity is constantly evolving. Continuous learning, staying informed about new threats and tech, it's absolutely essential to stay ahead.
So, to bring our deep dive to a close, the learner, considering this rapid, relentless evolution of cyber threats and the amazing availability of diverse, innovative training resources, what proactive step will you take today to deepen your understanding of cybersecurity? It's truly an ongoing expedition into a world that's perpetually transforming, and the All Sorts podcast is here to be your trusted guide on that journey. And if you found this exploration insightful, valuable, remember to become part of our learning community. Like, share, and subscribe to the All Sorts podcast on YouTube. Delve into our rich archive for more thought-provoking discussions on, well, all sorts of topics. And connect with us across the digital landscape X, Instagram, Threads. Because the pursuit of knowledge, in all its forms, is really what enriches our understanding of the world.